Hello everyone and welcome to WhatCulture Gaming. I'm Josh, joined as ever by Rachel Shackleton, because today we have found out via Let's Go Digital that a patent that Sony filed back in May but came together and was registered in August for a potential PlayStation 5 might just reveal what the console actually looks like, and it is certainly a thing.
It's definitely a thing. Let's just say I really hope this isn't true. It's a bit daft looking. I'm just gonna say it.
I mean, I feel like hopefully it is blown up as big as possible on screen for you guys right now. But yeah, it is an interesting design. Obviously, the most striking thing about it is that it has massive vents on each side and a kind of ridge in the middle in the shape of a V, which I guess it kind of makes sense because, you know, V5, PlayStation 5, but I don't like... Right, okay, Rach, I need to confess something to you now. Because over the past couple of years, we've had Metal Gear Solid V, we've had Devil May Cry V, and I don't like just calling something V when it should be 5. You know, you don't need to make V into a gimmick, which is what I'm trying to do right now. And it looks, we've had a lot of strange kind of concepts for consoles in the past. Sony especially have released so many interesting variations on the PS3 before it launched. Can you remember the boomerang controller?
Oh, yes.
And so this obviously might not be the final design, but the fact that they have patented it and it has come through and this is kind of what they're looking at, it just looks, to me, it looks kind of clunky.
It looks, well, the thing that sort of makes me think that it might not be quite finished is the amount of USB ports on the front. Like, who needs like 5 USB ports these days? Like, you don't really, do you? You just don't. Well, for wireless controllers anyway. You would need that on a PC. Yes, but unless it takes like mouse and keyboard and that, no.
Well, it might do,
maybe.
but to be honest, for me, I like the USB ports on the front. If there's one part of the design, you don't need, no one needs 5 USB ports. But all I'm saying is, when I got this recently, actually, I went home and I had my controllers plugged in charging, and then to use the third USB port, I had to go all the way around the back, which for me means I have to crawl on my hands and knees, get out my console, and then plug in a USB port.
Actually,
this is convenient.
If you are using the PlayStation VR,
that's what I mean.
2 ports for that, so maybe maybe they're predicting a new PlayStation VR 2 that needs like 5 controller ports, USB ports. Sorry. One thing we could comment on is the fact that when Microsoft first brought out the Xbox, which I know is one of your most beloved consoles, Scott told me you like it more than the PS2.
Yes, the original Xbox. For a second, I thought you meant the Xbox One. I thought I'm going to have some bad news for you here, Rich.
The original Xbox was kind of shaped like an X, and it had big old vents on the side. I remember thinking that was the ugliest thing I'd ever seen. Maybe Sony are like, well, you have the Xbox, like we could make the V box.
Well, you know what? I would buy the V box if that was what it's called, because that is the most gimmicky thing ever. The difference between that original bulky Xbox and this design for me is that the original bulky Xbox came out in what, 2003, 2002? A long time ago, when that was kind of the aesthetic, going big and going bold. You had that massive controller that my tiny child hands couldn't even grab onto.
We had like a third-party one. It was even worse. It was large.
Why did they make it like that? But I had the ugliest one, Reg. I had the Xbox original, the big chunky boy. That was see-through. Can you remember when that was all the craze?
Yes.
And you could see all the wires inside.
What?
It was the ugliest thing of all time.
I mean, maybe it's like fashion. Fashion obviously makes it come around every 50 years or so. So maybe consoles are starting to do that, and now see-through consoles and controllers are going to be a thing again.
They better
They're
not come
coming back.
This is me. We are joking around, obviously, but for me, like the Sony PlayStation 4 design is so sleek.
It's sexy.
Both the Pro, both the original, both the Slim. I think both. Every one of them. It looks really nice, and for me, I thought the PS3 original edition was a bit too chunky.
Yeah.
The PS2 for me, I loved, and if you go back to the PS1, it feels very much like a toy, which was kind of how everything was back then. But for me, Sony have in general been kind of hit and miss with the designs. But this is very much a miss for me.
Oh God, please let it not be true.
I like that they've got the big vents on because it's got so much power inside that you just need to expel all the heat.
Well, I mean, do you know what though?
Gaming.
Like, I could forgive how it looks if it is actually that powerful that the reason it has a big old V cut in the middle of it is because they literally need that many vents.
I think so.
Like,
too.
I could forgive it actually. I'm going back on my opinion on it. Like, if this means that what is inside is like that powerful, then
this could definitely be our first look at the eventual unusual design though. Obviously, like we said, they've had a lot of different kind of patents in the past, and then they eventually didn't actually go with them. Just because they patent something doesn't make they're actually going to go follow through and create it. But still, it is interesting. It seems very legit. As I mentioned, it's from Let's Go Digital. You can find the patent online and find out more about it. But there is an interesting addendum to this, continuing with our PlayStation 5 news, and that's that our lovely man and the chairman of Sony Worldwide Studios, our lovely man, everyone loves Sean Layden. He's been doing a lot of interviews since Sony picked up Insomniac Games, and he's been talking about the future of PlayStation, as he is wont to do. But he said something interesting to Bloomberg, and I'm going to read it out for you now, Rich. He said, quote, "We must support the PlayStation platform. That is non-negotiable. That said, you will see in the future some titles coming out of my collection of studios which may need to lean into a wider install base, which could suggest that Sony first-party exclusives going forward might not actually be exclusive. They might actually be coming to other platforms, be that PC, be that Xbox, be that Nintendo Switch. A guy can dream, is all I'm saying."
That's very, very cool. Because we've seen a lot of Microsoft doing that in the past. Like Microsoft obviously bringing out obviously mostly everything on PC. And they've started moving on to the Switch. There was the Nindies showcase the other day. Ori and the Blind Forest is coming out on Switch. I think that's amazing.
Are you going to buy 2 copies of this?
Yes. Well, I mean, I already have it on Xbox One, but yeah, to have it again on Switch, that's well cool. And I really think that Sony are kind of getting with the times, because they've not really been up for like crossplay, and they've not been up for like sharing much in the most recent of years.
Well, that is why it's so surprising and encouraging, in my opinion, because like you said, in the past they have been so closed off. All of their exclusives, the first-party ones anyway, have always just stuck to a PlayStation console. They have been very, very wary of letting mods on their platform. They have been very wary about crossplay. And now across the board, we've kind of seen them embrace it. We know that, for instance, Modern Warfare is getting crossplay across the consoles and PC. They are finally starting to open up their console and, like you said, get with the times, which can only be a good thing. I don't think it devalues exclusives either.
No.
I think you still get, I think it's better, for as much as I think it's great that Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo all create their unique exclusives and pump loads and loads of money into these experiences that you could argue some other publishers are moving away from. At the end of the day, I want everyone to play every game ever, and that's a good thing.
And there's always going to be a reason to have each console, because each console has its strengths and weaknesses.
Definitely. And I think, I can't imagine, they're going to say, well, Uncharted's now on the Xbox, but I do think we'll start seeing more first-party exclusives on PC, because they've kind of been testing the water over the past couple of years. The second-party games made by sort of people who, developers who Sony has kind of drafted in to make games for them, have also started to come out on PC as well as the PlayStation 4. We've had Street Fighter 5, we've had Nier Automata, which then again came to Xbox. We've had, apparently Death Stranding is going to come to PC after a limited time on PlayStation. That hasn't been announced yet, but that's what has been rumored.
That's what we're assuming.
It's not like it's unprecedented. It does give people more option to play games on whatever console or platform they have, especially in an era that is going to go ahead and start embracing streaming.
That's true, actually, because Microsoft obviously have a pretty sophisticated streaming service.
Definitely, absolutely. I mean, they are making tons and tons of money on Games Pass, and they have started, like we said, to expand their portfolio to the Nintendo Switch, and I think it just makes sense for Sony to not necessarily follow suit, but certainly open up their platform to, I don't know, just more options. And options are just nice. I want to be able to play, let's just completely go wild. I want to be able to play The Last of Us 2 on a Nintendo Switch, on a train. That's all I'm saying.
That would play like...
If we can get The Witcher 3 on there, who's to say we can't get The Last of Us 2?
That's very true, actually. That is very true. Anything is possible.
I think it's very interesting as well that this comes after the announced partnership between Sony and Microsoft about their potential creative endeavors together.
Yeah.
Because who knows what that's actually going to, bear fruit with.
Are the console wars finally over?
Maybe. Are we in a time of peace? Is everyone kind of like, is it nuclear disarmament? Yes, finally. The console wars are done. Everyone's put their guns on the ground and they just start to have a fun time together.
Oh my goodness, can you imagine if they made a console together one day?
Well, you know what? It's funny you should mention this, because I think that the console wars haven't exactly ended. They've just changed. War has changed, as it were.
But war never changes.
War never changes. War has changed now because Google Stadia is coming in and ruffling everyone's feathers.
Oh, so they're going to unite against Google.
That's it. It is like the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice of the console wars, which, oh my god, as I say that out loud, sounds bad. Sounds not good. No, but I do genuinely think the sort of increased involvement between Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo is genuinely because of fear of Google Stadia. I know a lot of us view it as kind of a joke and say that it won't work, but at the same time, I would be kind of quaking in my boots if I was one of the three biggies, just because of how many resources they have. Yeah, exactly.
If it does work, yeah, absolutely. Ooh, that is, a little bit of competition often makes good games.
Competition is always going to be good, and if that means I finally get my All-Stars game with Xbox characters and PlayStation characters in one big fighting game mashup, I am totally here for it. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you think of this supposed PlayStation 5 console design? And are you looking forward to potentially play PlayStation exclusives on other consoles?
Give me Bloodborne on PC, please.
Oh my god, I can't believe that hasn't happened already. Give me Bloodborne on PC. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments. And as always, I've been Josh, joined by Rachel Shackleton.
Hello, thank you for watching.
And we will see you soon with some more delicious, juicy, delectable news. Bye-bye.
I've just realised I said hello, but I meant goodbye.
Hello.
Goodbye.
Hello.
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 Mahalo.